Okay. All right. Huh. YouTube didn't pick up my microphone. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let me. Okay. Thank you for joining us. All right, there is some tech issues. YouTube doesn't like my microphone, so I need to speak louder. I can't hear anything. No, even within Zoom, nobody can hear me?
No.
The whole time? So when I was speaking, nobody can hear me at all?
No, not at all.
The whole time?
Yeah, I think so.
I think my microphone is broken. Okay, so sorry guys, either way.
Are we still streaming? Okay.
Yes, we are. Crazy. Okay, now you can hear me now. Okay, everybody. So let's do this again. I've been talking like by myself the whole time. This is crazy. Okay. All right, so let's do this at the same time. Let me make sure my background is turned on. This is very interesting. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, quick introduction. Hey guys, this is Dr. Nancy Lee. I help people transition from worker bee to product manager and business leader. And I've helped hundreds of product managers landing their dream product manager job offer. And we also have some of my audience, they are already senior PM in FAANG companies such as like Microsoft and Amazon, trying to advance their career into different kind of FAANG companies or join into those director positions as well. So regardless what your goal is, either getting into director position or you're here thinking about how can you transition into product management, you are in the right place because I'm here fully support you and make sure you get all the free resources and getting free 1 hour training from me. And also today we have a special guest, a group of people who currently are consultant or people working in the finance background. So feel free to ask me any questions you have given your background. And right now you're probably thinking about how can you transition into product management or whether you should get into product management. Okay, maybe you're also thinking about, well, how can I do my job very well in the completely new industry and new job function? So I'm here to teach you how you're able to, first of all, making a transition and how you are able to do a kick-ass job as well. Okay, so for people who join us on YouTube right now, I believe you can hear me. So feel free to put in your questions on YouTube as well. Okay, we also have a group of people joining me on Zoom. If you have any other questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me your questions, because I believe that the best coaching is the customized coaching based on your specific background. All right, so let me do this. I am going to share my slides. And then cool, right? All right, can you guys see my slides? I assume you can. Okay, great. So today we talk about how would you transition from a consulting background or finance background into product management. And first of all, I do want to celebrate with people inside the PM Accelerator. If you guys are interested in learning more about PM Accelerator, feel free to check out our free webinar. But here I do want to share things with you guys in terms of what can be done and the entire job market. What does it look like? People might be saying, hey, some companies stop hiring. What does this look like? Can people still getting more job offer in this unstable environment? And today we're going to cover a lot of this in our live coaching to help you to make decision whether this is the right career path for you or not.
Are you connected to YouTube, LinkedIn Live?
I'm not.
Are you doing that tonight?
No. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so now specifically, how do we go through the process is, first of all, I do want to congratulate everybody who are inside the PM Accelerator getting offers. This is all the offers we received last week. And so basically lots of companies are still hiring, including like Amazon and also another company called Computer Science INC, and multiple companies, and also including Next, they call it LexNext, basically lots of new companies that continue to recruit in the unstable, uncertain environment. So I want all of you guys to do not think about what recession might be coming or may not be coming. Why don't we think about, is this the right time for you to become a PM, and have you made your own decision, or do you have all the right experience, right resources to become a PM? Okay, and also quick reminder for everybody who are going through this free resources online, and currently we have like a 50 fan interview questions database. If you are preparing for fan interviews, I want you guys to go to this website, drnancy.com/product manager 50 fan, and you're able to directly download this free 50 fan interviews database. And those database has been used currently by my student who is currently interviewing for FAANG company positions. And I want you to use this for your mock interview database so that you are ready to hit your dream job in FAANG companies. Maybe your definition of your career success could be in unicorn startups, and those are the very useful resources for you to hit your career goal as well. So go to this website, drnancy.com/50fan. For anybody who is interested in PM Accelerator, you can attend our free masterclass where I teach you and learn how to land your dream product manager job offer and also thrive in it in 60 days. You can go to this website, drnancy.com/masterclass, and learn more about our program. Okay, and also quick reminder, if you want to join free coaching through my YouTube live, feel free to directly submit application. And right now, there's a Google form in the description of this YouTube live. You're directly able to come in, to put in your questions, and you might be invited by my team. Okay, who gets selected are people who either directly do donation through the nonprofit I support. I do one-on-one donation matches. If you donate $10, I donate $10, and actually each year, I donate more than that. Last year, we did like up to $20,000 donation matches. So whoever make donation, you get prioritized to get free coaching from me. Of course, who has most likes, comment, and shares, you're able to join me for the free coaching as well. Okay, and now let's do this. And let me answer the questions. I believe my team already submitted the questions. Faye, I believe you are several people in your group also submit questions ahead of time. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go through those questions, and for people on YouTube, feel free to do the same thing. Post your questions in YouTube, and I already received like more than 10 questions, and let's go through those questions very quickly today. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask me any follow-up questions, especially people who join us on Zoom. I do want to make sure we give you customized advice based on your specific questions and background. Okay, so first question, pre-submitted question is that, what's a general career path for PM? I can give you a high-level overview here. Is that PM, you go in as just a product manager, and then you directly get promoted into senior PM, and then the next level could be group PM. Some companies, they don't have the group PM title, so as a group product manager, so we manage senior PMs. Some companies directly jump from senior PM to the director directly. So depends on the scale and size of your company. For a company like FAANG companies, they love to give you a title like group PM before they give you a director title. Okay, so before I became a director, I was also a group product manager as well. So looks like this: PM, senior PM, group PM, then director product, VP of product. You continue to get promoted all the way to the CEO of the company. And there's another track, which is lots of product managers. They are very good entrepreneurs as well, or lots of entrepreneurs are also very good product managers, because they're 70% overlap between being an entrepreneur and also being a product manager. And as part of you climb up the career ladder as a product manager, we also see lots of people who just, hey, quit the job and focus on product management and starting their own company and full-time. And actually, I met somebody, she was a senior PM at Meta, and she made decision to start her own pet insurance company. And currently, she also moved to Miami as my neighbor. Congrats. So that's in general the career path for PM. Okay. I also have a free training on YouTube, and let me go here, and where you can see the step-by-step overview that I covered. And let me go here, and there is training about career paths, and basically look like this, a path to CEO. Okay, so this free training where I talk in depth regarding different levels and their roles and responsibilities, becoming a PM. So this free training, product manager career paths at Google, Amazon, Facebook, and startups, and I break it down based on different levels and in different companies, because their specific title are very different, depends on the companies. Maybe let's say a director in Google is equivalent of any VP position in any other companies. So the title is slightly different. So this video explains more regarding PM title in different companies as well. Okay. And the next question we have is, what would be the qualification to become a good PM? Fantastic question. So now there is a big differences between a good PM and bad PM. All right. So the good PM, the qualifications are: number one, the good PM need to drive the strategic decision and the roadmap of the company. All right, so bad PM, they mainly think about near term. Good PM think about both near term and long term for the company. Second thing, the good PM focus on influencing without authorities. As a product manager, we frequently talk to people cross-functionally and also need to lead a team, but you're not their manager. So how are you able to lead a team? So you're almost like a quarterback of a football team. In this scenario, how would you let people do the kind of requirements or do the design you're looking for, even if you are not their boss in terms of title? So product managers need to learn how to lead without authority. Okay, bad product manager was probably thinking only about how can they use relationship building process, or they are not thinking about what's the best way to think from the other person's perspective when they lead a team to build product. So bad product managers is mainly thinking about their self. Good product managers thinking about from other person's perspective. Okay. Now the third part regarding being a good PM is that, so good PM really need to know how to align vision and also how to think from the customer's perspective. All right. So frequently there are lots of questions regarding, hey, how would you drive alignment with your team, with engineers? And actually one of the best strategy is actually bring those engineers and designers into the customer meetings, if possible, getting exposure to customers' pain point. All right. So good product managers need to think about what the empathy from customers' perspective and use the customer's angle and inspire the entire team to solve problems for the customers. Okay. A bad product manager is only thinking about their own self-promotion, maybe internal stakeholder management, instead of focusing on their customers. Okay. So that's the three majority, the main differences, qualification to become a good PM. All right. Let me see, any on YouTube, anyone have follow-up question? Okay, the LinkedIn live. No, we don't connect in LinkedIn live right now. So you guys can hear me now. Okay, great, cool. All right. So next question. So daily life as a PM, and there are tons of meetings, which is true. Any time management secret tools you would recommend? Very good question. Okay, so as a product manager, which is true, a majority of our time is spent in meetings. There's so many meetings, such as like Scrum meetings and like requirement review meetings. And also depends on different stages of your product. Once you towards product launch, you do lots of meetings with the marketing team. And then once you at the beginning of the product, you do lots of meetings with your engineering team, not just the software developers, and also the architect, and maybe the director of engineering team. So we really build a cross-functional team by attending lots of meetings and also reviewing your requirements as well. Yes, so that's lots of meetings within the PM role. And now let me walk it through regarding what does it look like as product manager in a day-to-day. So let's say at the beginning of product management phase, you need to build a product. Your day-to-day looks like this. At the very morning, you probably will do the daily stand-up with your engineering team. That's part of the Scrum process. And then afterwards, you're going to work with the team to address any roadblocks, because at the Scrum process, people will report any kind of roadblocks they have. And then afterwards, that will be probably like an hour and 2 hours later, after you finish addressing those roadblocks, you will start to, hopefully you have time to review your requirement, and probably you will have those kind of cross-functional team to discuss independent requirement with the team if somebody didn't understand, or they want to challenge your requirement, or they want to modify the requirements. So there will be different kind of like requirement discussions, and could be small group discussions, and could also yourself try to enhance those requirements. Now here comes the lunchtime. During lunchtime, it's likely you work through lunch, to be frank, or it's also likely you use the lunchtime to build relationship within different departments of the company. Because as I said earlier, a good product manager knows they need to influence without authority. All right. So how would you influence without authority? There's lots of time you need to invest in terms of human capital building. That's during lunchtime. I encourage people to meet like different department during lunchtime. Now here comes the afternoon. All right. So in the afternoon, it's likely you will have those kind of like vendor meeting or like a technology evaluation meeting, where it's like some kind of outside vendor. You need to think about, do you use those technology or not? Okay, so now after that, you probably have another update meeting with your leadership. And this is time probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're giving executive presentation, telling your boss, your manager, and maybe your internal team about the latest progress of your specific product. All right, now it's 4 o'clock, and hopefully by this time you will have more time to sit down and really maybe building some kind of business plan for your launch strategy, and or figure out how can you work with legal team or different teams that help support you to build the end-to-end product management life cycle as well. So we are doing planning later in the afternoon as well. And then afterwards, it's almost like 5 o'clock. It's likely you're going to do like daily update with your boss, your internal team, some messages to address any concerns, or anyone else needs something from you. You can review the work from your team or other people as well. Okay, so that's basically look like the day in your life as a product manager. Okay, so time management secret tools, and one of the most important time management strategies I ask people to do is that you need to block your time, especially in the morning, to do the most important thing. And also throughout the day, I will also block my time to do important thing that will improve the product, such as blocking time to do long-term roadmap, or blocking time to write requirement, or blocking time to do competitive research. You need to block those time on your calendar, and you block those time hopefully like 1 week ahead of time, or at least 1 day ahead of time. And those is going to help you to dedicate your time that is going to impact the long-term success of your product. Okay, let me know if any other questions. Cool. And anybody who is on YouTube, feel free to ask questions as well. Okay, now tech requirements, what's the difference between TPM and PM? All right, so for the tech requirement, depends on company applying for. If you apply for Google type of companies, and you actually do need tech background, okay? For anybody who is going for Google interviews, they're going to have the software engineers to interview you. And now is you really need to learn the software architecture and system design. Inside of PM Accelerator, we have lots of resources you can use and understand what's the best courses in terms of technology you can learn. And now if you're applying for non-Google type of companies, majority of the companies, they don't require you to know how to code. Okay, so you need to really leverage your strengths and find the right match to identify the right companies. For example, Meta, they don't want you to actually know how to code at all, but their product sense interview and product execution interview with Meta is extremely difficult because everybody will qualify for those positions. So they increase the interview difficulties to really test your product sense. All right, now differences between TPM and PM. Technical program manager and product manager are very different. So technical program manager, you can see them as a COO of a company, and PM, you can see them as a CEO of product. One is COO, one is CEO. But they mainly work on the specific project and product together, not of the whole company. Okay, but think about one product, the difference is CEO and COO. Okay, so COO focus on the timeline, deliverable. For PM, it's more focused on long-term strategy thinking and lead the team to execute the strategy and what type of features they need to build. So both roles are extremely important to see the long-term success of your product. PM salary, I love, that's all the 4 questions we have. So I love the PM salary questions, they're very interesting. So I'm very proud to report product managers are getting paid extremely well. All right, so within our student inside of PM Accelerator, the highest salary we ever received is about 800 grand in total compensation. All right, so that person land an offer from Meta L7, and I'm going to show you a website where you can look up different salaries. Okay, and now let's say, well, people say, well, I'm not able to land Meta L7. What about other positions? Okay, so there are other positions and out there, specifically like you can land like senior PM position in Amazon. We have students landing offers like that. We also have people join Google as an individual contributor, as just product manager or senior PM. If you land any FAANG offers, you will get paid over 300 grand. Okay, and especially company has increased their salary. Did you guys see salary bump for consultant, at least for PM? I think inflation helps. Every the salary just went up so high. If you land FAANG offers, you're getting at least 300 grand. I have someone land an offer from YouTube. She's getting paid 400 grand working for YouTube as a product manager. Okay, now for non-FAANG companies, and if you did well for your interview, you can get over 200 grand salary, and on top of that, if let's say you're entry-level PM or you only have 1 year, 2 years experience, you're just PM, not senior PM, people getting paid 150. We also have people getting paid around 200, not senior PM, just PM title. This do not include those 3 guys in the garage, those kind of companies. Okay, those including companies, including startup, even unicorn startups, as long as they have strong cash flow, they are paying you those kind of ranges for entry-level PM 150, 200, and you join senior PM 250 and join FAANG company at least 300. This is bare minimum everything for people joining FAANG companies, and nowadays people are shooting for 400. Okay, so that's the range you can see in terms of getting offers as a PM. Okay, now number 6, how to transition from consulting to PM More specifically, consultant is not in charge of any product and not the subject matter expert in any typical area, and may not know the industry best practices, how to align this general industry product experience with a PM experience. Very, very good question. Let me do this. So when I answer the question, I want to like directly show my face because I'm very excited to discuss those people have nothing to do with the slide deck. And first of all, I do want to show you guys regarding how our student who has a consulting background who became a PM, and so that you can learn her strategies as well. Yes, I'm all right. Now, for example, we have multiple students who works for like EY or like PwC or Deloitte, those kind of like companies. All right. For people with those kind of background, and they had received offers as a senior PM of Amazon, and those are real cases. If you are inside a PM accelerator and you're able to know who they are, we are more than happy to direct you to meet those alumni with the same experience as you have. Okay. Now, I don't want to disclose the name, and just roughly, and one student, basically she was consultant and like working for one of those like EY type of company, EY Deloitte, and she landed 2 offers, and one was she was able to join Gemini as a PM. She also landed Uber offer as a product operations manager, and the other student, she was like also land job offer from like Amazon. So in general, with those consultant experience, what you need to do is step number 1, you need to identify your gap. Yes, you're jack of all trades, to be frank. You only do 1 session of product management. Okay. And then what most importantly is that you need to identify your gap. Within the product management, when we teach people how to build a product portfolio, and it's important for you to compare your prior experience and matching into product management. And there are 10 steps you need to do end to end as a product manager, starting from, let's say, customer interview, writing requirement, and all the way to product launches. There's specific tools I created inside a PM accelerator. Maybe I can share with you quickly what does it look like. And basically using the tool, once you plug in your experience, you can quickly identify what's missing in your prior experience. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is that you need to identify the gaps and also start to create a product portfolio to show that you actually have done something that's similar, even if you are missing. So you need to learn what the gaps are. Step number 2. Step number 3 is that once you, let's say, finish the product portfolio, filling the gaps, when you go into an interview, you need to quickly repatch your prior experience and speaking as the language of a product manager. Now, let me give you a specific example of what you should do. Okay, so this is a real life example. As I said, I was doing for like working for Deloitte, EY type of companies. And for example, for some of you guys who you guys actually do stakeholder interviews, or you do stakeholder management, and all your stakeholders are, in this case, the majority of those are your big enterprise clients. You guys serve Fortune 500, right? So they are your customers. When you talk to your customers, do you do customer interview? And how do you do that? Right? So there is a specific way we collect the voice of customer interview like through product management process, right? So how do you do customer interviews? How many did you talk to? And do you do it through workshop? And do you do it through like survey? So how you collect those requirements is considered as the voice of customer interview. And then when you go into those like a product management interview, you need to confidently telling them that's the step 1 of product management is understanding customer empathy. And you have done similar kind of tasks in terms of interviewing customers as part of understanding customer empathy. So that's the example of how you start to match your prior experience as a consultant into the product management framework and language. Okay, and then basically follow the same framework, talking about your experience writing requirements, or experience launching a product. There's many different steps we cover in PMA, PM, etc. So let me show you the quick overview regarding tools. Maybe hopefully you guys can use the same tools to identify your gap as well. Okay, so let me go to my drive and find the example of tools I recently created. Cool. All right, so this is the tool where I created for individual contributor and also director level product managers, and the different things you need to do as end-to-end experience being an outstanding product manager. And then you need to think about and identify the gap, what's missing in your prior experience. All right, and then start to learn how to speak the PM language as examples I just give you. And then you start to talk about your transferable skills. And actually, lots of you guys have done lots of product management work, such as working in agile environment, creating some digital transformation project. And those are all considered as product management experience. It's more about you don't know your gaps. You may only work on one thing or two things, not all the 10 things I just listed on the tools. And especially some of you guys want to go for director position, and director also have very senior level requirement as well. Okay, so now you just need to compare yourself in terms of what are the transferable skills you had. How can you match it into product management? And also sincerely ask your question, have you done that before? If you haven't, you need to build a product portfolio to create the experience that you don't have. Okay, so that's the process we've been teaching our students how they can transition from a consultant into product management. Okay, so I see some follow-up questions here. And if the next question, if I'm working in business finance at a FAANG company, what's the best strategy to navigate myself to PM? Okay, so let me copy paste this question on the slide deck. So you guys can, where's my slide deck? One sec. Hold on, let me share my slides. So next is a new question, so let me put it here. If I am working in business finance and at FAANG companies, congratulations, you work for FAANG companies. And hold on, it's blocking my view. This chat is blocking it. One sec. Someone's picture is blocking my view. In this scenario, I'm working for FAANG company. What's the best strategy to navigate myself into PM? If you're working for business finance in FAANG companies, step number one, you need to start to network with product managers in FAANG companies starting from tonight. Okay. Step number two is that you can start to collaborate with them. You know, we work with finance as well. When I launched my product, I actually designed the sales compensation for my product because I need to incentivize them to sell more product. I also work with our finance team to build the revenue trajectory of our product in the upcoming 5 years. Okay, so and also pricing strategies. You need to immediately collaborate with your product team. Step number three, you can start to volunteer to help out with some kind of product management like task with your product team, and I believe very busy launching a product. I'm more than happy to take some free help if they can. So the 3 steps you need to do. Okay. Then after that, if let's say you're not able to really help out, no opportunities was given, and you need to directly work on your product portfolio on the side to gain product management experience, because I believe that the secret of becoming an outstanding product manager is to learn it before you do it. Okay, so let me write down here. So keywords, learn it before you make it, not fake it until you make it. Okay, I have people like, I hate the sayings, I don't think work for me. Maybe I am like a small short Asian woman. Fake it until you make it never worked for me. Okay, in the past when I was my very first career, I have a manager to Nancy, you just need to fake it until you make it. Sorry, it doesn't work for a short Asian woman. The guy who gave me advice he's like 6 feet and 5 inches tall man, and telling me to fake it until you make it. And I'm like, no, doesn't work. Okay, so my philosophy is that you need to learn it before you make it. If you're in finance, you have no clue what is product management, you haven't touched product management at all, I suggest you start learning it right now, and also start building your side project, your product portfolio starting from tonight. Okay, then you learn it first, and then through the learning process, you identify, wow, this is very interesting. So you decide this is the right career for you. And on top of that, you also start to build customer empathy. You also start to practice writing requirements, doing customer interviews. All those are very important skills for you to kickstart your career. So do it and learn it before you make it. That's a principle for how we teach our students inside the PM Accelerator. Okay. So we have another question actually. Follow-up question regarding busy schedule. Question, it sounds like PM has a busy daily life. What would be the regular hours per week for PM? I know it could vary, depends on different teams. Put it here, let me answer this question. Okay, so I believe it's roughly 50 hours per week. So you do 9 hours per day. Okay, so you do 9 hours per day and up to 50. But I think 9 hours per day is very like standard nowadays. That's roughly what you do, 9 hours per day as a product manager. Okay. I also heard in Amazon people works really long. Okay, depends on the company. But based on my observation, so it is like 9 hours per day, or you can do 50 hours per week. I think that's very reasonable. I haven't heard any product manager that work over 60 hours per week. Okay, but I think like 45 to 50 is very reasonable for product managers, unless you're going through some crisis of your product, you need to work longer hours. And okay, let me double check YouTube. Any questions on YouTube? Let me go to YouTube. What's So Wiki said, what's the difference between product manager and project manager? So let me answer this question. I kind of answered this already, and actually I made a new YouTube video. It's gonna go out next week telling you guys the differences, but let me just answer the question because they're live with me on YouTube. Let me do this. Okay, So what's the difference between product manager and project manager specifically? Now, what you can see the differences, number one is that the roles and responsibilities, as I said, one is director of, no, CEO of product. The other one is a COO of product. One is managing the process with project manager. Product manager is more focusing on the long-term vision of the product. Okay, so the number two difference between product and project manager is one is what, the other one is how. Okay, so product manager decide what to build, what feature, what's prioritized, what team to work with. Now, project manager decide how. For example, how can we work in a cross-functional team to make it happen? And what time, when do we finish the project? If there is a roadblock, like how can we solve it? And so they are the people manager within the team. Product manager are deciding what needs to be built, what's put on the roadmap. All right, so that's the major differences between two different roles. I personally believe that product manager are having a great time and doing very rewarding work, and project manager also very important within the company as well. Okay, oh, by the way, product manager also getting paid higher than project manager, and throughout all the salaries I have negotiated in the past, so product manager getting higher than project manager as well. Oh, I believe this is a follow-up question on Zoom. Hold on, let me bring up the chat. So I'm working, thanks Nancy, me as a consultant on 45 hours per week schedule. That's pretty good. I saw consultant works longer than this. And do you guys only, as a consultant, do you guys only work 45 hours per week? Comment on the chat, yes or no. I am very curious. At least. Oh, you mean at least? I thought average. Oh, you said at least. I see. Faye, do you mean that your 45 hours, is this your average or minimum?
That's the minimum, but it's also average for most of my projects, I would say. Yeah, I mean the project I've done.
Good for you. I see people comment on the chat. Some of them is average, someone is at least. It maybe depends on different project. I see. Very cool.
I saw there's a question come up on the chart, but it's just sent to me privately. Maybe someone sent by mistake. So someone asked how many product managers are needed for each product in general.
Okay, so it depends on the size of the product, and usually one product manager managing one product. However, if you work for Airbnb mainly has one product, or under Airbnb there is like experience, whatever, you could have one product manager managing one feature of a product. Okay, now especially for very mature product. For example, and you work on like a Pinterest, right? So they're pretty mature, and then within Pinterest, it is one product, but you can break it down in terms of backend. Let's say like a content recommendation could be a product manager, and also the platform itself. Migrating, like managing pictures, or the content of pictures itself. How do you manage it? How do you store it? Could also be one product manager. Okay, so even one product can have multiple product manager, but each one manage a feature. But in the past, when I built my product for the team I worked in, and each product manager managed one independent product, completely different product. And so really depends on how mature the product is. Usually the more mature the product is, and the more likely there will be lots of product manager and managing a session of the product, which could be a feature of the product. Good question, very good question. And how to how to stand out and compete with MBAs and people who have tech background or prior PM background in the tech job market as a consultant will be our advantages or disadvantage. Very good question. So I believe that lots of people have their own unique advantages or disadvantages. I don't think MBA has an advantage to become a PM. I totally do not think so, unless they go through the MBA on-campus recruiting. Okay, because it's a green light for anybody who has MBA. For example, Amazon really like MBAs. They take MBA in as a senior PM. Besides those type of companies who have favor for MBAs, I don't think they have any advantage to become a PM. And you guys are not competing with MBAs at all. If you're a consultant, you're going through the normal track as a PM. MBAs are fresh graduates. Their job is, I think, is relatively lower level compared with you guys who are consultant for a few years. So basically, your experience to qualify as higher job than MBA, and you're also not going through campus recruiting track, so you're not really competing with them at all. Now with tech background, and also like people with tech background, as if they apply for Google type of jobs, and I do believe that they have huge advantage because Google just love people with computer science background. Now people already with prior PM background, of course they have more advantage than you guys. But as a consultant, what your advantage, disadvantage is that your advantage is that you are already work on product management related product that can qualify you for prior PM experience. And also your scope of work is likely pretty big as a consultant, and you're serving Fortune 500 companies. Your disadvantage is that you didn't work on product end to end. I know this for sure. I've coached many consultants in my program. Consultant only work on a fancy product for one session of the product management lifecycle. So that's why it's very important to use the product portfolio tools to identify your gaps and make up for the gaps that you don't have, and also know how to defend yourself when people ask you, oh, you don't have this, you don't have that. Then you can pull out the project to tell them, oh, I have done similar experience in the past. It's more about how you rethink your past experience, how much you have done that's relevant to PM. Okay, yeah. So let me see any follow-up question. PMA questions to PMA. Does PMA teach finance, accounting background people the technical skills needed for PM at Faang company? Good question. So let me copy paste this question here. Then we can share my screen. Okay, now let me share my screen. Is this question? What question? I think I missed my question. Interesting. Okay, so I saw them copy paste the questions. Let me put it here. Okay, it's this one. Make it bigger. So this question is, does PM Accelerator, which is a program I teach, does PM Accelerator teach finance and accounting background people the technical skill needed at for PM and FAANG companies? So inside of PM Accelerator, there's a module where we teach system design. So that's what's required, the technical skills are needed for people with any business background to learn how to be a better PM. Okay, so we teach that. Now, specifically, there are other type of technical knowledge, such as like cloud, AI. We don't teach those specific domain knowledge because it's independent of your product management knowledge. Okay, so if you need cloud or AI, IoT type of knowledge, you should learn this outside a program and we can make recommendations. However, inside our program, if you're ready for, let's say, Google type of interview, and you need to finish the system design, what we teach here, and we also have people who are software engineers before they became a PM or an alumni as mentors teach you guys system design as well. So we teach people how to think as if you are a product manager before you even become a PM. Okay, so that's what we do inside a PM Accelerator. Now, technical background, as I said, is domain knowledge. You need to learn outside our program. But what you can do with the system design knowledge, that's all is required to be a good, outstanding product manager. If you go for Google type of interview, you need to learn the cloud or like browser, like very, very different like knowledge on top of what we teach here. But we have recommended courses for Google, like software engineering type of interviews. Okay. Now let me go continue the question. I believe, let's see questions on YouTube. Ding, 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 ding. Let me go to back end question on YouTube. Matthew, just finished a Google PM course. I have an interview for junior PM role tomorrow. Any tips? Oh, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let me copy paste this question. And April, welcome. And let me answer this question. And if any other questions, feel free to let us know. I just finished a Google PM course. I have interview for junior PM role tomorrow. Any tips for getting started on my first day, assuming I'm getting hired of course, and sales and marketing company, yada, yada. Okay, great. So, very good question. And I have free training in terms of what you need to do in your first 30, 60, 90 days as a PM. Let me show you here. See my screen. Your first 30 days as a PM, go to my channel. I have in-depth training regarding what you need to do in your new job after you start your new job. Where is it? Where is the first 30 days? Okay, so product manager career secret, how to start a new job as a PM. You can, I have filmed over 100 different kind of free training on my YouTube channel. You guys should go and check it out. Okay, so now I believe I drew a roadmap for you guys. That was my roadmap. Let me identify the roadmap. So basically there are 4 things you need. Oops, hold on. Where is, hold on, let me just go to the final one. Boom. So basically, there are 4 things you need to do in terms of stakeholder management, product strategy, customer, industry knowledge. That's what you need to do. Okay, assuming you land a job from Google. If you do, please make sure you let me know and email me or directly go to Instagram and DM me. Okay, I'd love to hear about your offers. That's the way to do once you join Google. In, for example, the first 30 days, coffee check, learning about stakeholder, organization, architecture, design. 90 days, you need to start to manage your roadmap. And also start to do customer interviews starting month 2 and start to learn industry knowledge in your first week into your new job right away as well. Okay, so those are what you need to do. I lay out a roadmap for you guys. So I want you guys to go to this video, Product Manager Career Secret, how to start a new job as a PM, which has all the details and broken down where I teach you how you can do this. Okay, and let me go back to the questions. Oh, I have 2 more questions. Okay, great. How to share screen. Finish Google interview. How to stand out. We'll talk about how to stand out. Difference in PM, product manager. We have it. You mentioned that you think PM is a better job than consulting. I'd like to know the reasons why you think PM is better. Thanks. Fantastic. We can talk about this whole day. Okay. So there's so many reasons. I believe PM is one of the most satisfying career out there. First of all, and I believe that PM is very satisfying was because product management focus on customers. I believe majority of the consultant I deal with, you focus on your stakeholders. They are CEO or executives of Fortune 500 companies. As a product manager, I believe that the reason we choose this career path was because we really want to create an amazing product and impact millions of people's lives. So it's very satisfying. We go in to actually solve the pain point of customers, the users of the product. Let me use an example. If you're a product manager of Tesla, every day you'll be working on this Tesla, different versions of Tesla, how to improve the navigation of Tesla, how to make the design slick. Basically, you are designing the product to solve the pain point of customers. You can also make Tesla safer, so that's better for moms. I'm a new mom myself, and to use Tesla and to pick up their kids, or design Tesla for their like self-driving features, so that Tesla will become the next generation transportation tools. Hopefully at the time, sometime in the future, will be secure and safe enough. My kids can use self-driving Tesla to go to school. I don't need to pick them up, right? So you are creating outstanding, amazing, future-forward product to solve the pain point of customers. I think those experiences cannot be replaced by any other jobs out there, because as a product manager, we deeply care about our customers. Okay, as a consultant, I also believe that you care about your customers, but I believe that majority of your customers are the Fortune 500 company CEO or executives, whoever pay you to do the job. So number one. Number two reason I believe PM is a much more satisfying job than consultant is that it gives you more end-to-end experience creating a product to the end, not just have a strategy, and then you don't know if people apply your strategy or not. All right. And the third thing is that PM doesn't do lots of PowerPoint slides. You know, people are laughing right now. Consultant make decks, slides every day to present your ideas. PM like to really get the hands dirty. You can make beautiful PowerPoint slides all day long, but what if I create a product that customer loves? And I literally get letters and emails from my customers saying that thank you so much for your product. I believe that's the best experience because you are actually solving the pain point of customers. Now, fourth reason I believe PM is a better career was because We get paid more. I told you PM salary before. Actually, I have another case. One of my students is so crazy. She only had 1 year experience working for Deloitte. She got 5 PM offers. One of those offers double her salary. She was a consultant. And then the offer she received double her salary as a product manager. She's only once you receive the offer, she was only 1.5 years outside of college. So which means she's probably 23 years old and getting paid damn good money as soon as she changed her track from a consultant into a product manager. So above 4 reasons, I believe PM is a much better job out there. Okay. Cool. And I believe we answered all the questions. Typical career path. I talked about this at the beginning. Rachel, do you mind? Let me give a quick overview, but we talked about this beginning. Feel free to watch the recording. That's the very first question people ask, career path. Okay, so let me 30 seconds overview, but feel free to watch the beginning of the training. Oh, by the way, I have a free YouTube training about the career path. I showed you guys earlier. Yeah, go back to my free YouTube training, but 30 seconds. Career path product manager, PM, senior PM, group product manager, director product, VP of product, CEO. And then any part of this PM journey, you can jump out, start your own company. That's the best part of being PM. What was my background? If you don't mind me asking, thank you. Oh, fantastic question. So let me unshare. What's my background? Okay, I was a systems engineer working for Shell Oil for 3 years, and I hated my job. I was the only woman in almost all the meetings that I've been through. And every day when I went to my office, I never ever read any piece of news about oil or gas. I was working for Shell Oil. But every day I was thinking about how can I get exposure to customers. And I really enjoy solving problems for them. So that was my background. I was a systems engineer at Shell Oil for 3 years. I also discovered I was underpaid when I was working for Shell Oil. So that was my background. But I'm glad I switched my track, become a product manager. Oh, you're asking what was her background. I saw you asking what's my background. I yelled the whole time. I was happy for a little while. So I asked what's her background. Okay. She was just an undergrad. I believe was for Deloitte or EY. Basically one of those, like four, you know, those big four. One of those companies. And I believe was there for a year. She worked, I believe she worked on some kind of like digital transformation project or any kind of project for one of the banks. Oh, checking account, something like a checking product for one of the banks, something like that. So basically we're teaching her, so in our program we're teaching her how can she tell her story better, because the checking product sounds like so old school. But she has done a lot of product management related activities. So we're teaching her how to repackage her story and start to, she also built her product portfolio, actually show more skills she had because she only had 1 year experience. We need to do more for her, and she was able to double her salary. I was very, 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 very excited. And you can see her story. I believe, do we have offer celebration? Go to my Instagram, and I believe our Instagram, let me go to my Instagram. You can see her story, the full background story here. Instagram, let me go to my Instagram. Am I sharing my screen? Oh, yes. Hold on, where is my screen sharing? With her offer. Basically, once you go through our Instagram stories, I couldn't even find her offers. So go to our Instagram, page DRNCD, always talking CD, and go to our Instagram. You should be able to find her offers. We have lots of people with similar background like you. You can just click. Is this her? PMPO offer? I don't know. One of those is hers. You can learn more. Okay, I just couldn't locate it. Which one? Something like that. You can learn more about her background. Okay. What's the loss of this? Okay, cool. No, actually, she didn't join FAANG. If she had joined FAANG, she get paid even higher. No, she got 5 offers in total. One of those 5 offers actually double her salary. She didn't join FAANG, and right now she's interviewing with Meta. She want to jump again to Meta so that she can, if she join Meta, probably she can triple her salary. I don't know, we will negotiate salary for her if she lands an offer. You will learn more once we finish offer negotiation. Okay, but usually, to be frank, we like to remove as much personal information of our students. If you're inside PM Accelerator, we'll direct you to the right alumni. Okay, but here just tell you as much as we can. You can go to our Instagram and locate her information or rough information about her over there as well. Okay, so let me see, do you have more questions on?
Yeah, Nancy, I have more questions. Just
Okay.
I just tired of typing, so I just want to ask you
What question
directly.
you have?
Yeah, so thanks for sharing all those inspiring stories. So I definitely think PM is a more satisfying job than being as a consultant, and can make a bigger and better impact. So because a lot of time we are just selling the ideas framework to our clients, but a lot of time I don't think the client really use those, or it really being like a launch as a product, or it's just but they still paid for us. I wonder, for being as a product manager, since we can make good product for the clients, do product managers get incentives or bonus for the good products? Like, I mean, how to say that? Like, do they get paid for what they have achieved, instead of like they only get some base salary and certain equity?
You're saying that the compensation structure of product manager, right? So the compensation structure of product managers varies based on FAANG companies and non-FAANG companies. Let's say for FAANG companies, is a compensation of base salary. Let me use which salary. Remove all the students' information. Just give one example. Let's say people join, I believe, I don't want to say which FAANG company, say too much personal information. One of those FAANG companies, the base salary is like, the cash is like 165 or 180, around that range. And then everything else is equity. The equity is the stock option from the company, and then total the person hits 300 grand. Now, afterwards, what does this look like is, let's say you launch an amazing product. Every year they give you additional equity on top of your target equity. You guarantee, saying equity here is stocks. Okay, let's just made it up, Meta stocks. Okay, they will say, okay, so every year this is your cash. You're also getting another like 100 grand. And usually the stocks, the Meta stocks, is higher than the cash you receive. You have base salary plus your Meta stocks, and if you perform very well, they also give you more stock, because the better you perform, the higher the price of stock will grow. They give you more shares so that you are getting compensated based on how well the entire company is growing. And that's why lots of people who join big tech company, doesn't have to be FAANG. We have students who join unicorn startup and actually getting paid higher than one of the FAANG offers she received. She was FAANG, and another unicorn startup, she decided to join unicorn startup. Okay, so it's more based on your performance. They love to give you more like stock options of the company. So usually they do that. This one way to compensate product managers. The other way to do that, they basically promote you much faster. For example, the person who promotes the fastest in Facebook/Meta was Facebook ads. Whoever was a product manager for Facebook ads get promoted like rocket ship, going this way, not this way, like go like rocket ship, because you're getting lots of revenue for the company through ads. That person actually get promoted like from different levels. I'm gonna so there's a website showing different salary of product managers I can show you quickly, and called level FYI, and basically that person keep on jumping levels within Meta every year. Is a shooting up. Each level represent different kind of base salaries and also different type of like stock options as well. So let me show you the salary. People love to ask salary questions. Very important, very important. I do believe that PM get paid very well. So level FYI. Let's do this. Product manager, so cut Wayfair, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft. Those are good. I think good. Let's do LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn is good enough. Okay, so the way it works is that you jump the level faster. You move from this level. Oh, you do it so well. Let's jump to L5. After L5, you do L6. After L6, you do L7. Then you click this open, you see the salary. So one of our students land Facebook or Meta L7 offers. This is public information. I'm not disclosing any personal information, guys, but I know the person's salary. I'm only talking about the public information. So his around the salary range, and it's very exciting. Okay, you see the breakdown. As I said, the stock is way more than your base salary. He's L7. The example I gave you guys is someone who is like lower than him. Total compensation is at least 300 grand. His compensation is 800 grand. That's why his base salary is higher, stock is higher, on bonus is higher as well. Okay, and yes, every year I forgot to mention, every year we also get bonus, but majority of the stocks is a critical part of our salary if you work for FAANG companies. Okay, but roughly verify salary. Nope. Yes, I can see. And then you click any other like Google with Google. Let's say, yes, this is good. Basically Google L3 salary. So basically the cash. You see, usually, as I said, the cash is not much, like only 200 grand for cash. Your stock always almost like double what you have. The times 2 equals your total, roughly like this. You get a little bit more bonus. Basically, that's what we do. We are living on top of these to make significant income, and those stocks also grow as soon as the Google's price goes up as well. So that's why it just like, you may see this number right now, but if you do not sell your Google stock and let it keep writing, it will just going like nuts. That's why people get paid very well. I'm very excited about this career. All right, telling too much information because I know over hundreds people's salary. I negotiate salary for lots of people, so I'm very open about the numbers here. Okay, let me see what questions we have on YouTube. I'm glad people are still here on YouTube. Oh, I love this name, learning and growing in life. Fantastic. All right. Sorry, just joined the session. Does one need to do MBA or MS computer science or other criteria to become a PM without prior PM experience? Okay, let me answer this question. The answer is no. Let me explain this to you guys. What was the difference? We can this. Does one need to do MBA or computer science master degree or any other criteria to become a PM with a prior PM experience? I don't think so, personally speaking, especially MBA. I believe MBA is a waste of money. If you want to become a PM, MBA is not necessary, okay? If you want to grow your personal network, for example, myself went to MIT because the network is important to me. It's not because I go there so that I can become a PM. Okay, two different things. Okay, so for the purpose of becoming a PM, please do not do an MBA. MBA charges 200 grand. No, you're wasting money. I'd rather you use those 200 grand to join PM Accelerator. I'm serious, way cheaper than that, and you get a much better outcome in terms of return on investment. But if you want to grow your personal network, yes, MBA will help you. But you need to join really top schools. I don't recommend you go to like okay MBA schools. The alumni is not that strong. You go there, what? The network is not very strong. So don't do that. Now, computer science degree. I don't think you need a computer science degree to become a PM. Okay, but if you have computer science degree, that will help you to get into Google. If you do not have a computer science degree or any related degree in terms of coding, it's very hard for you to join Google. But in order to join Google, you can join Google as growth PM or like growth product marketing or director product marketing within Google. You still join Faang company from business side. Yeah. So I don't think they're relevant. What I believe the most important part to become a PM is start to gain PM experience by building a product portfolio, some kind of side project. They are much more relevant to become a PM. Cool. Oh, they mentioned PM Accelerator. So to save your 200 grand as an MBA, you should join a PM Accelerator. I'm serious. It's crazy. So let me do this. Let me share you my screen. Okay, so if you're interested in PM Accelerator, here's where you can join. You can go to the free webinar, learn how to land your dream product manager job offer and thrive in it in 60 days, and go to this website, drnancy.com/masterclass. Okay, but I do believe that getting an MBA is, for the purpose of becoming a PM, is totally a waste of money. Don't do that. Okay. Cool. Let me see any other questions on YouTube. More questions on YouTube. Okay. Cool. How is product management better than program manager or technical program manager? I have noticed TPM move to PM roles. Okay, let me tell you. First of all, we're getting paid higher. Sorry, I like to talk about salaries because I know too many people salary, and I want to increase the transparency because people do not talk about salary. Well, let me just talk about it. And once you make it more transparent, and people can increase the salary in total because you know how much money other people have, and you can negotiate higher salary as well. Okay, so. How is product management better than technical program manager? All right, so first of all is the salaries. PM getting product manager is getting higher than program manager for sure. I know too many people salary. Okay, for sure. Now, second thing is depends on your interest. If you feel like you enjoy working a cross-functional team, working on people side of things and tracking the schedules, the process, please do that. That's a program manager. If you enjoy doing that, you should stick to your lane. You shouldn't just change job just because of money. I think you should change job because of passion. Okay. If you're interested, designing product feature, define product roadmap, prioritize the customer's requirements, and interview customers, creating amazing product, solving the pain point. That's product manager. Okay, so the purpose of two different job functions are very different. But those roles are very, very good and important within tech companies. Okay, you should follow your passion and choose the right track for yourself. Okay. Summit said, I'm fresher who has no experience on sending PM. How can I get APM role at FAANG company? Oh, very good. Our student preparing for APM actually. Let me answer the question. Copy. Share my screen. Next question. Fresher with no experience understanding PM, how can I get APM roles at FAANG type of companies? Okay, so for example, in August, all the FAANG companies so far, they will open APM positions. You qualify for APM positions if you have less than 2 years product management experience. All right. So in order to land those APM roles of FAANG companies, you need to get prepared right now. Starting from April, they will open up application. At least that's the schedule last year. Some of them close APM application by the end of August as well. Starting from September 1st, you will start getting interviews. So I want all of you guys to start preparing for your product sense, product design, execution interview, and system design, and getting ready for your FAANG interview starting from today. So it's end of May right now, starting from June, you still have like 2 or 3 months preparing for your upcoming FAANG interviews. Okay. Yeah, and also in the summer, when preparing for those, you should start building a product portfolio or start to gain any relevant product management experience to get ready for your upcoming FAANG like interviews as APM role. The bar for APM is lower. Any kind of related experience will qualify you related to PM. So you should start working on your product portfolio or some kind of side project right now so that your resume will become even stronger. Okay, so I have a pre-training about resume. PM resume, come here, dun dun. Yeah, so you should use our resume template. Yes, you should use our resume template to write your PM resume. Okay, so you can download in the description of this video of the PM template, the Killer Product Manager template, which has been used by 4,000 product managers so far. Okay, so I want you to go here and directly download those PM template. All right, and then write your like Killer Product Manager resume, get ready for your FAANG interviews, right? Let me see any other questions. Oh, one last question. For PM roles, what type of companies would you recommend to target? Okay. Let me copy paste this question. Where is the string? Okay. Interesting. Where did this screen goes? PM rows. Nice like that. For PM roles, what type of companies would you recommend to target? I noticed there is tech company like FAANG. Where's FAANGMULA? What the hell is that? FAANGMULA. FAANG, and also non-tech companies like Home Depot, Walmart, telecom have PM roles. Okay, depends on personal interest, to be frank. And of course, if you target FAANG companies, they pay very well. They also have a national brand, international brand. Okay. for non-FAANG companies, besides those companies, also unicorn startup. I prefer unicorn startup compared with FAANG company because first of all, our students who join unicorn startups, their salary is getting paid higher than FAANG companies. This happened multiple times. We have students actually rejected. I have about six students rejected FAANG offers to join unicorn startup because they have so much upside potential. Those upside potential lead to millions of dollars. I have someone who joined Coinbase. His cash total compensation is $400,000 per year, and his stock option at the time when Coinbase went IPO, his stock option worth $8 million. So unicorn startup give you so much upside potential. Of course, Coinbase stocks price dropped recently, just like lots of these companies stock price drop. His stock option probably only was $4 million, but there's still lots of money, part of the equity of unicorn startup. Okay, so depends on your personal choice. You want something nice, simple, stable, maybe go for FAANG company, but of course not everybody can get into FAANG company, and those kind of big companies like Home Depot, Walmart is also a good choice for you as well. But I really want you to focus on better company culture. Who you work with really matters. Do you really love the product? Do you really love serving the type of companies, the clients they're serving? Okay, I believe that's the most important thing, choosing your product. Product manager need to love their product. Question. Let me go through the question quickly, and we need to close our live session today. If I have zero work experience, can I still apply for FAANG companies? Zero work experience, you mean fresh undergrad? Okay, yes, you can. So those FAANG companies, we have students fresh undergrad got offer from Microsoft, several of them. Actually, I have 2. No work experience, just like they study, they went to school, and then they join Microsoft. Yes, you can. Yes. Okay, so next question. But it's more about can you get in? To be frank, it's very hard. I'm not saying landing a FAANG offer is easy. It's hard to get in directly without experience, but people have made it happen before. And every year they hire a bunch of people with no PM experience to join those FAANG companies as an entry-level PM. Are you the one? Are you prepared when those opportunities are in front of you? So that's the most important questions. It's not about yes or no. Okay. Oh, FAANGMULA stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and Microsoft, Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. Oh, FAANGMULA. I learned something new. Does PM role require experience in varying? Okay, let me answer this question. Does PM roles require experience vary in tech companies versus other tech companies? We are tech and business at different departments like banks. Okay, their methodology varies. Okay, depends on team you join. If they practice agile methodology, and it's same, it doesn't matter FAANG or non-FAANG. If some companies are using more traditional way to build their product, they're using waterfall, not agile, and then that experience is very different. So you need to pay close attention and understand the differences. For example, when I joined Verizon, I was in there I was always in the new department of Verizon. I work on smart cities. We use brand new to the FAANG level frameworks to basically teach people using this methodology to build amazing product. So that my experience working for the smart cities and new department of Amazon is the same as working for FAANG companies. We're using the exact same framework to launch product. And actually my product was even more successful than the FAANG company launch. My product received the Mayor's Best Practice Award. Very proud of that. So it depends on the team you join. What kind of methodology do they follow? Okay. I think we covered all the questions. Let me see. Awesome. Okay, great. I believe I covered all the questions. Okay, so thank you very much for everyone to join us. And well, we have 30 questions. Oh, answer 30 questions. So impressive. Okay, so with all the 30 questions, and thank you very much for staying with us. And at the same time, I encourage everybody who is interested in product management and join those free groups. And those are our WeChat group for referral opportunities, and then also LinkedIn group where you guys can join and find your mock interview partners or other friends who are pursuing the same product management journey as well. Of course, for people who are interested in PM Accelerator, feel free to register our upcoming free webinar to learn more about our program Product Manager Accelerator. And in this free webinar, where I'm going to also teach you how to learn how to land your dream PM job and thrive in it in 60 days. Awesome. Okay, great. And also final reminder for anybody who have upcoming interviews with FAANG companies, please make sure you download this free sheet, the 50 FAANG interview questions database, and you can go to this website, drnancy.com/50FAANG. So best of luck for your upcoming interviews. Awesome. And I also believe that we have a special discount for Faith's group. We are going to announce the discount in your group later on, because right now it's through the YouTube live. We don't want to give the discount code to everybody who is not part of a group. Okay, we will announce it in your group later on, Faith. Okay.
Thank you, Nancy. Thanks for answering all the questions and spending almost 2 hours with us. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I hope all of you guys by now know more about product management and hopefully have made a decision about whether you want to transition into PM, and also know what's the best framework you guys can follow and start to take massive action starting from tonight. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm going to see you guys next time. This is Dr. Nancy Lee. Make sure to give this video a thumb up or share this video with any product managers from entry level all the way to director level, because I believe lots of people need those kind of free coachings. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Nice meeting you. At least everybody learned the new term, FAANGMULA. I love this. Awesome. Good night. See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.